Are you thinking of buying a new home? It's not always the typical, predictable experience that you might imagine. There's a whole world of choices out there, from custom to semi-custom to tract to spec homes. Each one offers its own unique feel and journey. Here's a fun twist. I'll share with you hints about each of these 4 types of homes, and you get to figure out which one I'm talking about. Make sure you put your guesses in the comments below. Your choices are custom, semi-custom, tract, or spec. Now let's go. The first product I'm going to share with you is a type of home that is built by a developer or a builder on a speculation without a buyer in mind. The developer or the builder will create this type of home based on the most popular floor plan, elevation, structural upgrades, and design upgrades in that particular community. This type of home also has a faster occupancy, which means that it is going to be nearly completed or already completed and available for buyers to close as soon as possible. This type of home is for a buyer that needs a new construction home fast. Maybe they're relocating from another state and they need a specific timeline on that particular new construction home. This buyer is not willing to wait an average of 6 to 8 months for build time. Some builders do take even more than 12 months. They do not have the patience for that particular build time. I just closed on this particular type of home for a buyer that relocated from Chicago that was contingent on selling their home in Chicago in order to purchase this one. And for that particular buyer, they looked at both resale home and new homes, and they really liked this particular home type because they knew when that home was going to be closing, and they could time it so that it was a seamless transaction for them from them selling their home in Chicago and relocating to Henderson, Nevada. This is also for a buyer that's looking for the best deal. Most builders will offer additional incentives because this particular home type is considered an inventory home. Most builders are offering additional incentives. I've seen anything from 2 to 3% towards closing costs because this type of home is considered an inventory home. These builders want to get rid of these inventory homes fast. If you are financing, the typical estimated closing cost is anywhere from 2 to 3%. If the builder is willing to cover 2 to 3% of your closing costs, especially if you're financing, that's usually the price point for the closing costs, that's fantastic because for my buyers, that's no additional fees or costs at closing time. Some builders are even offering incentives up to 4%. So on top of the closing costs being covered at 100%, you have additional funds that you could apply towards interest buydowns. Wouldn't that be fantastic, especially in the current market condition for interest rates? This is also for a buyer that doesn't want to overthink and make additional design decisions. This is for a buyer that wants their particular home to be designed by the professional interior designer for that particular developer or builder. That builder's professional interior designer has selected all the finishes and upgrades based on the current market trends. When you purchase this particular home type, you get what you see. You are fully aware of all the different finishes and specifications that have been called out for this particular home type. Picture yourself walking into your dream primary bathroom with a super shower, and within the enclosed super shower, a separate bathtub. It has all the highest finished tile upgrades, and on top of that, you also have a rainforest shower. That was me 3 years ago when I purchased this particular home type for my family in Southern Highlands. For me, the primary bathroom is very important. Coming from Japan, I love taking hot bath. That really relaxes me after a long day of showings. You guys might be familiar with the onsen. It's hot springs, and I absolutely love it. So when I saw this super shower, number one, it was absolutely huge. It actually spanned the whole width of the bathroom. And then on top of that, enclosed in the super shower was a separate tub, and it was a deep tub. I absolutely fell in love, and I called my husband. I said, this is the home type we're gonna purchase right now. Now, comment number 1 along with your answer on that particular home type. Your choices are custom, semi-custom, tract, or spec. Now let's keep going. This second home type provides a balance between all the items that you could personally customize, where you have the say in all the modifications, and there are standard items where you don't have a say and it comes as is per builder specification. In simple terms, this second home type starts with a simple plan, a basic design, but you're able to modify and customize it based on your preferences. The buyer for this second home type enjoys personalizing their spaces. You have a say in the design elements, the finishes, and even the floor plan. Maybe this particular buyer has multiple children or multiple family members living with them and they need additional bedrooms. And therefore, they are able to add those additional bedrooms because of their lifestyle. This second home type is for a buyer that enjoys having a custom home without the price tag. Buying this type of home is much more cost-effective versus buying a full custom home. This is for a buyer who has flexibility on time as well as costs. The building process and timeline can be unpredictable. Delays due to weather, labor issues, and natural disasters can really push back your timeline, and it could be a frustrating process. This type of home can be much more expensive compared to existing homes. While you have some control over your budget, customization can add up and you could overspend easily. Can you guess the type of this second product? Comment number 2 along with your answer. Your choices are custom, semi-custom, tract, or spec. By the way, if we haven't met yet, konnichiwa, my name is Kaori Nagao, your global real estate advisor helping you find your new home. Whether it's a custom home, semi-custom home, tract home, or spec home, I'll be more than happy to help you along your whole home buying process. Thank you so much for watching. I love it when you engage with me. Let's keep going. Now moving on to our third product type. This third home type is a dwelling that has been built as part of a larger development. And in this development, there are multiple homes with similar or identical styles and sizes. These homes are built on tracts of land, usually divided into smaller lots, built by large home builders. The designs are standardized, which means that there's limited variation when it comes to the style or finishes of the home. This particular home type is usually less expensive to construct on a per home basis. And this is because of economies of scale. This is the most affordable type of homes for buyers. In simple terms, this type of home is similar or identical homes built together in a larger development. This particular home type is for a buyer who is flexible of waiting 6 to 8 months or even up to 12 months for the construction of this particular home. This is for a buyer who can select their lot, their elevation, floor plan, and all of their finishes in building this particular type of home. Customization is limited for this particular home type compared to others. This is for a buyer who doesn't mind the cookie cutter looking homes, where all the homes in that particular neighborhood are very similar in the design and the appearance. This is for a buyer who wants quality assurance, warranty, and energy efficiencies. Builders offer warranties to cover structural and major system issues. This provides a peace of mind for my buyers because for the first year, the builder usually offers a 1-year full customer service where if anything goes wrong in the house, you are absolutely covered at the builder's expense. Just to give you some examples on what's covered in your first year customer service warranty, it could be as little as some scratches or paint touch-ups to even larger items like scratches in your sliding door where the whole sliding door needs to be replaced or a unfunctional tankless water heater. On top of that, major appliances are covered for up to 5 years by the builder, and usually an additional 5 years if you were to log into the brands of the appliances and register online. That's a pro tip for me for all of my buyers. I highly recommend all of my buyers to check all of their appliances and go to their website to register online for additional warranty. Sometimes the manufacturer will give you an additional 5 years on top of the builder's 5 years, so that's actually 10 years in total for all of their warranty services. Then there's the builder's structural warranty, which is usually 10 years. All new homes come with the greatest and latest technology when it comes to energy efficient systems and appliances. That's one of the biggest pro for me when you purchase a new construction home compared to a resale home. Homes are getting much more smarter, more efficient, and the utility bills are getting lower. Don't you guys absolutely love that about new construction homes? Can you guess this type of home construction? Comment number 3, and the options are custom, semi-custom, tract, or spec. Now, let's cover the fourth home product type that you've been waiting for. This home type is one of a kind that has been specifically designed for a particular client for a particular location. You as a homeowner will typically work closely with the builder, the architect, the interior designer to create a unique and one-of-a-kind floor plan, and you're involved in every decision making when it comes to the construction and the finish of this dream home. This results in a home that is tailored to your preferences and needs, unlike other home types that are based on predetermined designs and modifications. In short, this home is specifically designed to fit the needs and wants of the client that orders it. This is for a buyer who wants a one-of-a-kind, unique floor plan that matches their preference and needs for their family and their lifestyle. This buyer has total control and enjoys personalizing their spaces. This buyer has a say in everything, from the floor plan, the position of the home on the lot, all the design upgrades and finishes. This is for a buyer who has flexibility when it comes to costs as well as the timeline. Delays are expected. Cost will be impacted based on design changes and material changes. I am currently working with a buyer who is designing their dream home in Southern Highlands Golf Club. We are currently in the design phase and we're meeting with the builder every 2 weeks to perfect their floor plan. We are also undergoing 3D renderings where you're able to visually see what your space looks like and the views you can see from each of the rooms. This particular builder also conducts a solar study and wind study. In the solar study, we study the patterns of the sun during the day and at night to really maximize the sun exposure while creating cool spaces. In the wind study, especially in Southern Highlands, we're located on the southwest part of town. We get a lot of southwest winds, so we determine how we want to maximize our outdoor living space considering all the wind and the impact of the wind in the different spaces. I'm also excited to share with you that I have 2 active listings in this particular home type by a builder called Blue Heron in the prestigious Gargated community of McDonald Highlands. These 2 listings are on Dragon Peak Drive called Apri and Oculus. What's so impressive about Apri and Oculus is Blue Heron's ability to build a one-of-a-kind design floor plan that maximizes the views from every room and to really enjoy the surrounding natural beauty, including the magical dragon spine, the city views, mountain views, and even some strip views. If you're interested in this particular home type, make sure you check out the videos on Apri and Oculus on my channel. Can you guess the type of this particular home? Comment number 4, and your options are custom, semi-custom, tract, and spec. All right, it's time for my pop quiz, you guys. I want to make sure you've been paying attention. Which of these home types are considered cookie cutter? A, custom, B, semi-custom, C, tract, and D, spec. Comment below your answers, and the first person to get the answer right will get a shout out on my next YouTube Shorts. For more videos on new construction home, and if you're considering buying a new construction home anywhere in the United States, keep watching my playlist. Thank you so much for watching. I really love it when I hear from you, and make sure you smash that subscribe button so other viewers like yourself considering new construction homes can find me online and on YouTube. Thank you so much, and see you on the next one.